Okay, Johnny, what's going on with you and Chick-fil-A?
Well, Chick-fil-A is actually in the news nationally, has been at least since the 29th of January.
Yes.
Their owner made a YouTube video to respond to a lot of criticism that's taking place.
So they're against. So the event that he's catering is pro-family, anti-gay. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they really haven't said that they're anti-gay, but once it hit the media, they started linking them to several anti-gay speakers, anti-same-sex marriages and whatnot. And so,
all right.
Just because we support an organization that is openly anti-gay doesn't mean we're anti-gay. It means our sandwiches are anti-gay. But they don't need to do that when they already offer their traditionally married employees a retreat at the WinShape Foundation, Chick-fil-A's charitable arm. These retreats feature infamous anti-gay speakers like Maggie Gallagher and Focus on the Family, and they all spout the same Chick-philosophy.
That got the Washington Times and New York Times involved in it, and then several groups started trying to get people to boycott Chick-fil-A, and so then Mr. Cathy made a video in which he kind of downplayed it or whatever, and there's been quite a bit of back and forth, and we've seen it in the news where he's saying that they wouldn't bar homosexual couples from coming to the events now, even though they're pretty much on record having persons speak at these events.
Yeah. All right. So now, what are you going to have on your show tonight?
Well, Micah and Mark went down to the Danville Chick-fil-A and talked to someone down there. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to say he's the franchise owner. Could be the manager. And he said that he just wants it to go away. And what we're going to do on Micah and Mark's What's the Bible Say in my religious review tonight at 10:30, we're going to show that they will make a stand on shutting the doors on Sunday, but when it comes down to making a stand on things they really believe, they just want it to go away.
All right, let me see if we can take a peek at that video real quick.
We're with Religious Review. It's a multimedia organization. We do a lot of stuff on the internet. We have a TV broadcast, and what we're really involved in is a lot of religious indoctrination.
But I really don't want to do anything I want to bring any more negative publicity to that.
Okay, well, really, we're not
negative. We're trying to put negative.
When you bring it up, see, we just want it to go away. So if we do enough in the community. I don't need this to be shining a light on something like that, and bringing more attention to it. And it's going to go away, and if we start bringing more to it, then it's just.
Okay, now, so you're going to be getting into this tonight?
Yes, we're going to ask the question is, why will they not champion? They have said on their website they don't want to be a champion on this issue, but they make a big deal out of he's appeared for the last 40 years.
But guess what? I mean, one thing you can't ignore, that at least 10% of the population's gay, so therefore, I mean, that would be a lot of chicken customers.
Well, the thing is, though, if somebody said, okay, we're going to finally stand up for our values, besides closing the doors on Sunday, let's say he stands up for his values, the other 90% of the population looks like they would come in and say, okay, we're going to stand up for him. And I don't particularly eat at Chick-fil-A on a regular basis, but I would if he would stand up for his principles for a change. So, you could look at it that way.
Right. But, I know they take the Sunday stand, but that's the only religious stand that I see them doing. They don't say, this is a faith burger or something like that. I mean,
no, they have made a big deal though over the years. I mean, you can see them on the Trinity Network, Jim Baker's network, Praise the Lord or whatever. Yeah. He's appeared on there talking about they basically are pretty much out front that they have been a Christian organization, and now it's getting them in trouble, and they're going to back off of it.
Right.
Before it was making them money.
Well, EW Magazine, they came out with an edition 2 or 3 weeks ago. They say that gay is in right now.
Well, it's because basically no one stands up for anything, Charles. I mean, these folks that are supposedly saying that they're against same-sex marriage. They're just like Laura Bush. She hid it until they got out of the presidency. So it demonstrates that people of values, I'm going to give you more props, let's say, than 90% of the Christian people around Martinsville, because, I see you standing up. And when these religious folks tried to get me off of your station, you stood up for your values and took the hit, even though it cost you several $1,000s. Why won't people who have values they say that are sacred to them, why won't they stand up? They're not going to take a hit if it comes to dollars.
Well, yeah, but then you also have the country really changing its mind on the gay issue. I mean, it's kind of, you're seeing it happen right in front of you. I mean, the #1 program in the country, Glee, has 2 gay teenage lovers.
Well, I don't think it's the case that this country has changed its mind. I think we're just seeing that the country doesn't really stand up for their values. And if you do the polls, certainly there's more persons who
Let me see if I can get a photographer to take a look at this.
That support traditional same-sex, whatever, but they won't speak out because it'll cost you in today's environment. Homosexual community has got a lot of dollars, as you said. They have a very big voice, and they're no longer ashamed. I mean, gay pride is in, so they stand on their ground, and most of the persons who oppose them, they're scared to death.
Right.
And everybody's scared to be a homophobe or something of that nature. So it's not politically correct, and we're just seeing people cave in. I'm not saying let's be ugly or whatever. We debated the Phelps, who they go around heckling people. Yeah. That's not going to do anybody good. So, right. But we're saying at least stand up for what you believe, and let's have some dialogue. Right.
But let me ask you, Johnny, just if you have 2 people that care for each other and they're the same sex, what difference does it make? As long as they want to care for each other.
Well, if there's no standard for what is acceptable, then it really doesn't make any difference. But, for people who say that the Bible is the standard, and if we get rid of the Bible, then anything goes. Because if we do get rid of the Bible, I mean, we can move down the same argument could be said that somebody cares for a little child. What difference does it make? And, I mean, you can just keep making that argument down to you can marry your dog before it's all said and done. But yet the Bible talks about all of those things being something that is not going to be suitable. And, the question is, when are we going to take, what are we going to take for a standard if we don't have the Bible?
Well, but the Christian world has been so negative toward gays in years past, from condemning them and doing everything they can to belittle them. And you hear folks, and they even mentioned in this article where they talk about the fact that they don't want to be a Christian because of how mean they've been to them. So there is a real sect, a real line going on here between this, and it is kind of hard to see Christians being so righteous and so upfront and mean about how they feel about somebody's sexuality.
Well, what I think, Charles, is that people see Christians like Mr. Cathy, who basically says, okay, whatever makes me money, that's what I'm going to stand for, and they know that it's not real, and that's the kind of Christians that are mean. They're the kinds that love that wallet, love that holler for the dollar, and they don't really have a heart for concern. I mean, you didn't see anybody stand up against the Phelps in this area. Everybody in this area can't stand the Phelps.
Yeah.
And yet I'm supposedly the meanest person in town, but yet I stood up for the gay and lesbian community in the sense that I oppose the Phelps rhetoric, which is Calvinism, which the Presbyterians and the Baptists all hold, because, it says God made them that way and he's going to send them to hell even though he made them that way. So most people, I think, are rebelling against so-called Christianity, which has been really involved in just doing whatever feels good for them and makes them look good rather than stand up for the hard principles.
All right. Well, I know this is going to be a hot topic tonight on all 3 shows, right?
I don't know if James is doing it for sure, but I know that the first segment of What Does the Bible Say will at 8 o'clock, then at 10:30 we'll start again on Religious Review.
All right. Well, it definitely sounds interesting. You definitely keep it interesting, Johnny. Right. One other thought on this situation. Cracker Barrel got into a discrimination thing with the U.S. government over they wouldn't hire gay waiters. Remember that?
Right. Yes, I do.
Could Chick-fil-A be trying to steer themselves away from that controversy?
Well, Chick-fil-A was smarter than Cracker Barrel in the sense that they had on their hiring, on their paperwork, they basically say their contract is you have to be married. So see, they got around it by simply saying, well, our policy is that we only hire married people, and the reason we do that is because, married people are generally, they're more on time and they have more responsibility and whatnot. So, the government can't say that you can't say you want to hire married people, but now it's coming back.
Well, I think that would be discriminatory too. That would be sex. You're not supposed to sex, age, and religion, right?
Well, I don't think when you say that you want a person who's a family person that you're talking about sex or gender. It was a smart move. It has kept them out of the political media up to this point.
Right. All right, Johnny.
All right. Thanks for hearing us out.
You bet, man. And the show starts tonight at 8, and then 9, and then at 10:30, right?
That's correct.
3 solid hours. 3.5 solid hours.
3.5 solid hours. All right.